his seat is at the Temple of Zeus. The Temple of Zeus, archaeologist comes from Germany, right? Comes from Germany in the 20th century. Sees this Temple of Zeus, gets inspired, has the temple dismantled, shipped back to Germany, sets up the Museum of Zeus. Somebody rise to power, whose name I won't name, but you probably know who I'm talking about. Describes to his aide, I want this awe-inspiring, place where we can have parades and this, and I can give my speeches. The aide goes into the Museum of Zeus, gets inspired by this, builds a replica of it, and now we have one of the most technological countries in the world during this, in the 1930s. One of the most industrial countries that went from 0 to 100 in like 20 years around the world. Like, I'm talking about tech, freaking industry, knowledge. Like, so you wonder what's influencing this stuff. I'm telling you. What's good, guys? It's your boy Proclaimed Truth, back again with another video, bringing you that good old information, knowledge. You feel me? Something that's very, very, very common yet still rare these days. Now, before I start off this video, man, I just want to say, make sure you guys are, being discerning out there. I always say that there's a lot of information out there, and there's a lot of information that may sound true, but it's not. It's very misleading. If you guys don't know the ways of the enemy, one of the biggest ways that Satan operates is he will give you 90% truth and sprinkle 10% lie. 10% of lies in that 90% truth. In your mind, you may say, well, doesn't that still make it true? But the kicker is that 10% lie is arsenic, and it'll drop you dead like that. It'll do more damage than the 90% truth. So we have to be very, very, very careful. I always urge you guys to do your own research. Even every single thing I say, on this platform, I don't want you guys to take it as gospel. Go do your own research. I'm only here to stimulate thought. I'm not here to try to be a savior. I'm not here to try to be none of that. I'm just here to raise your consciousness. You feel me? Get you to be a greater ambassador of the kingdom that sent you, because we're not of this plane. Okay, we're not of this plane. So throughout my walk on this plane, I was blessed to acquire a higher state of conscious. A lot of that blessing wasn't because of me, but because of the seeds that the ones before me sowed and everything. All right, so without further ado, that being said, what I want to talk about today is the person or people that runs the world. Yeah, that's right. We're talking about the Illuminati. Yeah, but for real, a whole lot of people. I mean, we're talking about what force rules the world, guys. Like, who controls the world? So you see this everywhere, man. People be like, oh, the Illuminati this, Illuminati that, Illuminati controls the world, Illuminati, blah, blah, blah. Guys, I'm not trying to make light of the Illuminati, but it's at the point now they want you to say the Illuminati. Okay? They want you to say the Illuminati, But the truth of the matter is that there's an agenda. There's an agenda of, a principality has an agenda that he wants to influence others to follow. But the thing is, there's many organizations, there's many, gangs, you want to call them, fraternities, sororities, secret societies, governments, organizations, whatever, on this earth. And if you think they're all in cahoots together, then you are sadly mistaken. You are sadly mistaken. The thing is, some of them may have certain goals, certain agendas, but within that agenda, they may have a goal that coincides together. So they may work together to accomplish a certain goal. But at the end of the day, they're not all working together in, trying to accomplish each other's agenda. They each have their own agenda. So it's not a mythical, one world organization that just control everything. Because if that was the case, you best believe we'll already be Judgment Day will be here. They would already impose their full will on us. No need to sugarcoat it. But it happens at a slow rate. You know what I mean? Because it's like chess. The person, I don't want to say a person, but entity or whatever you want to say it, Satan, that's who rules the world, guys. Let's just make that point blank period. But he can't simply take control of a person, people, and be like, hey, you would do this. He can't. He's defeated already. But he does have influence. Fallen angels were never stripped of their power. So they still rule principalities. They still rule certain places on this earth that have, if you ever been somewhere, they still have strongholds where they have their dominion, they have a lot of influence in that area. And you see that in a lot of these combat zones, a lot of ancient sites, stuff like that. A lot of places that have a lot of power, they tend to have strongholds there because they know that influence. They need that influence to progress their agenda, their true agenda, which is preparing for Armageddon. All right, to fight, the return of Yeshua when he comes. You may say, well, blah blah blah. It's all futile. Proclaim truth. Why would somebody else try to fight Jesus? Blah 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 blah. Guys, contrary to popular belief, I'm pretty sure Satan was there. Remember, he was an angel. He was in the throne. So he knows more than probably any other entity outside the Trinity. So for him to try to wage war against God himself, I don't know, guys. It must be something he know that the rest of the world don't. And also, never forget that they tried to do this before with the Tower of Babel. Wage war, take over heaven. That was the second time. The first time it was, what we read about in Ecclesiastes, where Lucifer and the third of the angels tried to exalt the throne above God, and the third of the angels was white from the, third of the stars white from the sky, something like that. Which is why I believe stars are luminaries. But anyway, or something connected to that extent. But what I'm saying is, when they were building that Tower of Babel back in Genesis, in the land of Ur, the old world, the old ancient old world order, out there, after they got out the ark and built all that crap, they were building the Tower of Babel, and God himself had to come down and confuse the tongue, because it's almost as if he said that if they, I got to do this, because if they come together in one mind like this, it's nothing that they won't be able to achieve. And he had just got through flooding the whole earth, resetting the earth. And shortly after that, these motherfuckers, hey, let's do it again. We come, So the devil was not Satan at this time was not wasting time trying to, It's been many attempts, guys. It's been many attempts. So for us to think that, we've been in the end time since Jesus, died, since he was hung on a tree. A lot of people think he died on the cross. That's not true. We can make some more. We can talk about that later. curses a man that hangs from a tree. But anyway, and he bear the curse for all mankind. Anyway, what I was saying. So yeah, the end goal, and it's fun to predict the programming again, guys. And you mean we see it in what is it called? Infinity Wars? Anyway, you know the Avengers, the end game. That is Armageddon, guys. It's gonna be an end game. And obviously, Lucifer has one. He obviously has one final trick up his sleeve that, you know, whatever he's trying to accomplish, maybe he got a shot at it. You know, maybe he got a shot at it. And who knows? But we all know how the story ends if you are a believer of the Bible. He won't. Even if he does have a shot, he won't win. You know, he won't win. But it says that a strong delusion will come over the earth that even the very elect will be deceived. And I think that's gonna come in the form of, like, you know, alien invasions. Probably I can see the world going away from religion, because the word talk about, you know, people going east to west looking for like these religious texts, but won't find it, like the book of Eli. Because we say in the Bible, one of the biggest reasons why, you know, I'm a believer of the Bible, because it talks, it's the only text that, like, hey, this will happen, and it happened. And we can, like, see, like, this book is self-verifying itself. Like, what the crap? What kind of book is this? It gave you a checklist. Like, if this, you know, what other book can do that? An old book at that. You know what I mean? Ancient book. But anyway. Yeah. So, yeah, man. It's crazy, man. And I hope y'all paying attention. It pays to pay attention. And I'm giving y'all free content. But the truth of the matter is, people would pay more attention if they were paying for it. You know, and that's just the reality of it. But when they, you know, some stuff I'm gonna have to put on the Patreon. Like, I already had a video taken down. I'm trying to upload it now. So if you guys are able to, you know, check it out, it's gonna be called, I think I titled it, You Must Watch This. Hopefully they don't take it down again, but I don't know. They're watching me now, so who knows? I will be having the Patreon coming soon, because it's some, like I said, it's some stuff we can really get into, but I can't really talk about on here because AI technology, blah, blah, blah. They hear those code words, they register those certain pictures and stuff, and they automatically remove your crap. You feel me? Automatically remove your crap. But, yeah, so the reason Satan rules the earth is because God is in control, but Satan rules it, right? Because he's a principality. He is a fallen angel. And he have fallen angels that work under him. And those fallen angels have, you know, minions or demons. They're somebody's spirits. The spirits is the Nephilim that once walked the earth. And also, you still have Nephilim that continue to walk the earth. You know what I mean? And I talked about that. Oh, did I talk about it? Yeah, I think I did talk about it in one of my videos called, like, the spiritual warfare. I kind of broke it down, like, what the forces, the dark forces on this earth and everything is. So, moving right along, guys, So, we got these principalities, right? And it called him, like, the Prince of Persia, you know, because at that time, his throne was, you know, in that area. And I think it was Pergamos, somewhere over there. I think it's like in modern day Turkey, in that area. And it was called the Temple of Zeus. That's what his throne was during this time. But prior to that, his throne was in Tyre, you know, in modern day Lebanon. That during that time, it was a Phoenician city, which is, you know, when we started talking about this Tartarian stuff, oh my God, guys, like, that's what I'm saying, man. This stuff, oh my goodness, like, you start connecting the dots on this stuff. You start connecting the dots. Like, he was the king of Tyre, and then, you know, his seat is at the Temple of Zeus. The Temple of Zeus, archaeologist comes from Germany, right? comes from Germany in the 20th century, sees this temple of Zeus, gets inspired, has the temple dismantled, shipped back to Germany, sets up the museum of Zeus. Somebody rise to power, whose name I won't name, but you probably know who I'm talking about, describes to his aide, I want this awe-inspiring, place where we can have parades and this, and I can give my speeches. The aide goes into the museum of Zeus, gets inspired by this, builds a replica of it, and now we have one of the most technological countries in the world during this, in the 1930s. One of the most industrial countries that went from 0 to 100 in like 20 years around the world. Like, I'm talking about tech, freaking industry, knowledge. Like, so you wonder what's influencing this stuff. I'm telling you what's influencing this stuff, and it ain't nothing changed, right? Ain't nothing changed. You probably know what country I'm talking about and what leader I'm talking about, right? World War II. But moving right along. So I say that to say this, man. Like, even then, like, none of those countries was like serving the Hebrew God in the Old Testament. And they were fighting, like, if Satan's over here, you know what I mean? And all of them were pagans, but they were fighting amongst each other. So if Satan was really ruling all of them, why didn't they all, granted, they were all at war with the Hebrews, but they would have came together as one and tried to crush them instead of like quarreling amongst each other and everything. Same as today, there's just different agendas, and you can look everywhere. That's why it's just an elaborate game of chess, man. It's an elaborate game of chess. Nobody's in total control, and that's the beauty of it. But at the same time, it is going to play out a certain way. Out of chaos, it's still gonna play out a certain way, even though nobody's in total control, because it's the will of Yahuwah. You know what I mean? The will of the Creator for that to happen. That's why even though it's all this chaos, it's still gonna move in the way He wills. And for people that has eyes to see that and discern that and make of it, you can see that God is still in control. That's why you shouldn't worry about all this stuff that's going on. And that's why you need to have discernment in times like this. You feel me? You need to have discernment in times like this so you can stay vigilant, and thrive, thrive. Because we are ambassadors of the kingdom, you heard? You feel me? But yeah, man, I just wanted to drop that video because I know a lot of people out here are pretty worried. We don't worry, man. We don't worry. I think some people say worrying is a sin because, you feel me? You're not putting trust in the Most High. So yeah, don't worry. You can be concerned, but never be worried. Never be worried. You just gotta have that faith that no matter what, until it's your time, a way will always show. He'll always provide a way. And keep in mind, there's more than one way to be delivered, baby. You could be delivered by the Red Sea splitting, which is a miracle. Or you could be delivered by death, you feel me? Which is liberation. So, hey, luck of the draw, I guess, or like destiny, whatever you want to call it, man. Whatever you want to call it. But yeah, man, we don't sugarcoat nothing on this channel, but we're going to give it to you real. But yeah, man. It's your boy Proclaim Truth, man, coming back with this content for y'all, man. Like I said, man, they've been trying to stop some of my content. But I'm gonna figure out a workaround, right? I hope it don't get to the point where I gotta make 3 channels and backup channels, because I ain't doing all that, you feel me? I ain't got time to do all that. Barely got time to do this as is, but I feel like in order for me to receive, I have to give. And I feel like the stuff that I know is a God-given gift, wisdom doesn't come from man, it comes from God. And I remember, like, when I was trying to join a certain organization, I don't want to say a vision. I don't know what it was, but I was trying to join because I was like, I love to learn. I was very inquisitive. I'm like, I want to know all the secrets. I want to know this. I want to know that. And then, like, the Holy Spirit, like, who gives a man knowledge? Is it man or does God? Like, look at what you already know. What is it that you truly seek? Hey, I mean, I'm telling you, it's some crazy stuff, bro. Some crazy stuff. I heard that in my spirit, and I was just like, dang, you know what? But anyway, that's another story for another time. But yeah, man, it's your boy Proclaim Truth. Hope y'all like this video, man. Hit that notification bell. Hey, like, share, subscribe, man. Let's get that information out there, because one thing about it, two things for sure. They can knock me, y'all. They can knock off the person to my left. They can knock off the person to the right. But when there's an ideology, man, you can't defeat that. When there's a belief, you can't defeat that. When there's a conviction, you can't defeat that. When there's something compels you, you can't defeat that, because it's bigger than myself. It's bigger than the person. It's a sphere of conscience, and conscience is the true reality. You feel me? But yeah, man, y'all take it easy, man. Be back with y'all soon.